Thank you for being with us. Today, it is Monday, May 19th, and we're going to be talking about the crypto market. Let's go. Remember that none of this is financial advice. XRP, what a weekend. Man, we got up to $2.44. It looked like all bets were off. We have a resistance market, $2.60. We couldn't even get through 2.5. We ended up going back to 2.3. What was interesting is that Bitcoin went up to 107K. Is that a new all-time high for Bitcoin? Bitcoin went out and touched the previous all-time high. I thought for sure this was the mark of alt season. I thought for sure Bitcoin went up and touched 107. It immediately went back down and touched 102. ETH was getting volatile with Bitcoin. I thought, man, all bets are off. Bitcoin just extended out to 107 again, and now it's going to be alt season. And we got to pull back from everything. We see Bitcoin's down 1.45%, but it was up to 107K. All right, things got exciting yesterday. Bitcoin was trading at 107,000. Somebody must have taken some profits. Flare, that 0.2 resistance, is still holding strong. So man, we're still ranging. I know we'd like to think we broke the range and we're going for it, but we're still ranging. XRP couldn't break 2.5. Bitcoin got stuck at 107, which was bullish, but here we are back at 102. Flare couldn't break 0.02. We're fighting, okay? The crypto market is fighting. And we're going to continue upward, but nothing goes up in a straight line forever, all right? So we had multiple days of uptrend. Saturday and Sunday were great. It looked like all bets were off. Like I said, I was here waiting for things to go much higher. Songbird, so it broke 0.8 of a penny, had a slight pullback, all right? But it looked like all bets were off and we were going running. Look at that Songbird chart. We finally started getting active. Dude, I gotta say this. From the moment Songbird came to life, it has been down in the dumps. It came out, it got sold by all the people who got the airdrop. It went from 30 cents, 40 cents, even 50 cents, BitChute reporting, all the way down to 0.3 of a penny. Dude, let me tell you this. If you were buying Songbird at the low of 0.3 of a penny, there's a chance you catch a times 100 here. There really is. Songbird gets back to 30 cents. You just caught a times 100. 0.3 of a penny up to 30 cents, all right? Songbird is fighting this resistance of 1 cent. We got to break through that 1 cent mark, baby. Let the birdie fly. Speaking of Songbird, let's check out this news for Hugo Philly on the CEO of Flare Networks. He says, well, the cap has been reached. Remember that the cap exists to limit risk because it is a new protocol. On both Songbird and more importantly, Flare, it will increase over time. F assets on Songbird came out like a week ago, and we weren't supposed to have any cap. But of course, like all good things start with a cap, and that cap is at 1.79 mil. So this was all capped, man. I think this is extremely bullish that people came to play. Flare opened the doors and people came to play. That shows something. This is a highly touted network. People want to take part in DeFi. People want to get a yield on their Bitcoin, their Doge, their Litecoin, and their XRP. There are going to be 70 other assets that are opening their doors to Flare Networks as well. Flare is going to be connecting everything. Okay? Flare is going to be the data provider of all of crypto. Right now, Chainlink is being used as a data provider for everything, and Chainlink is going to be partnering with Flare. So there's not even going to be some big overhaul. It's just going to be on the connection side of Chainlink. And then through Chainlink, everyone will be using Flare. Flare is one of the cornerstones of crypto. Check out this post from Leader Alpha. He says, it boggles my mind why so many haven't figured this out yet and why so many maxis will still sit on the sideline and watch Flare price discovery melt faces. Flare Networks versus XRP Ledger. 4 times more total value locked than the XRPL. More stablecoins, more utility, same daily active users, 164 times smaller market cap. This comes on this gift from GigaFusion Mesh, where he says, I could not help it. I sold 50% of my XRP for Flare just now. In my opinion, there's no way in hell that XRP will perform better than Flare this run. I should probably just sell all of my XRP for Flare. Something to think about. Now, the thing is XRP is this long-term use case asset. Could you imagine if you would have sold all of your Bitcoin because there was a better green candle over here? It's like, well, in the next 3 years, I really think Litecoin's going to outperform Bitcoin. And that might have been the case, right? But dude, we're talking long-term, and Bitcoin definitely outperformed Litecoin from inception to now, okay? And we can go look what Litecoin's up to. So all time, Litecoin's up 2,100%. Bitcoin all time is up an astronomical percent. I mean, is that a billion? It's up 1 billion% all time. I'm not reading all these numbers to you this morning. That's insanity. All right, so you look at Litecoin versus Bitcoin, and maybe at the beginning you would have said that shit. Oh, I really think there's going to be a bigger run right here in the short term. Sometimes you can't think all about the short term. Now, what I've learned from this crypto game is you never go all in, okay? I know it sounds romantic. Let's go all in. It's like I'm at the casino. Put it all on black. Dude, you go all in, and that's a good chance you get burnt for all your bag. Being somebody who's played XRP for 8 years, XRP allows me to sleep good at night. It's not an unknown unknown. XRP has been tested through and through. Flare was paid for by Ripple to build an L2 on top of the XRPL. They turned around and built their own layer 1, and they're allowing a lot of people, they're allowing most of crypto to turn around and use DeFi on their network. So it's an incredible idea. It's an incredible idea. Execution is everything. We're seeing that the total value locked is higher than XRP's. But what does XRP offer for total value locked? Like what DeFi protocol does XRP add, right? I mean, where would we even have a total value locked? But I do think that Flare is coming to eat a lot of crypto's cake. Like I said, Flare is going to end up providing the data feeds to Chainlink, to Flare time series oracles, the FTSOs. It's just a better tech. And in terms of ETH 3.0, we know that Flare is coming to eat ETH's cake. Check this out. Leader Alpha says this: Vitalik Buterin's apparent affinity for China raises concerns for those involved in Ethereum's ecosystem. Fortunately, participation is not mandatory. Buterin's recent actions, combined with the frustrated community, create an opening for rival blockchains to seize dominance. Ethereum once had potential to surpass Bitcoin, but that opportunity has likely vanished. The focus on centralized Layer 2 solutions may prove to be Ethereum's critical misstep. It reminds me of what we heard about Algorand with the fiat chain. Why not just focus on Algorand, right? But here comes the fiat chain. Save the day. Vitalik, focusing on centralized Layer 2 solutions, and with his affinity for China, are losing their ground on the competition. We have people coming to eat ETH's lunch, and Vitalik doesn't even care. And what do you expect from the guy, huh? And Worm226 replies to this. He says, the only logical thing for all those devs, chains, and users is to come on over to the Flare networks. Few lines of code and you're done. Safe, secure, fast, and affordable. Because that's the thing about Flare networks. They built this with this in mind, man. Hotel ETH is going to close its doors. And what's going to happen to all the people who have built shit on there? They're going to need to migrate to a new chain. And what's that chain going to be? Flare networks. Dude, it was built on top of the Ethereum virtual machine. So like Worm says, there's only a few lines of code needed to migrate your shit over to the Flare networks. What do you get with that? Way less fees, fast, secure. You get the momentum that comes with people being hyped up over your tech. Dude, this is like what people were hyped up about ETH. People were hyped on ETH technology for a long time. Smart contracts, DeFi, NFTs, but it had so many shortcomings, man. They were not able to get the technology over the hump during the time they had. Ripple was sued by the SEC to give Ethereum the free pass. We know this, man. JP Morgan paid the Ethereum Foundation and William Hinman. Why are they so anti-American technology? Vitalik did not build an American technology, man. The crypto beast says to keep everything in perspective. I like this. I like what he has to say here. He says right now is one of the worst times to be buying Bitcoin. It's like buying in 2021 at 60K before its all-time high, which ended up being 69K. So that's not a good percentage gain at all. And that's just the truth. Most people hate the truth. They prefer to be lied to. Hopium can make you blind. Dude, don't be blind out here playing the game. And you got 3 things that you got to listen to when you're playing this game. Your eyes, your ears, and your gut. Okay? Your eyes and your ears, you're on the lookout for all the news you could see. How's community sentiment? What's the word from the company? Do we have any partnerships coming out? How are we looking in market cap? You're looking up information. You're looking up how many tokens there are in existence. What exchanges offer this token? Do we have any US exchanges offering the token yet? And you can't only just look at the TA, man. If you were to focus on the TA alone, you would be in trouble. Because you know what? Anybody can draw a little chart and make it equate to what they want to have happen. I want the price to go here, so I'm going to draw my lines showing that the curve is headed this way. It's pretty easy, man. You can fucking do it if you wanted to. Hopium can make you blind. And there's selection bias when you're choosing something that your heart really wants. So you can't have your heart in this. You got to go with your gut. Your heart's going to cry and moan for you to go with what you're passionate about. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen. You got to go with your gut, man. You got to look into what's happening around you. You got to look at the TA, a little bit of logic, a little bit of reasoning, a little bit of price action. You got to mix them together, okay? There's no one answer meets all. You can't just follow one man's advice and say, okay, now I know. Go listen to the advice of multiple people, man. Go listen to these hyped up motherfuckers talking about XRP reaching $1,000 this cycle. Go start reading some tweets from the Time Traveler. And I'm going to end this video with this, man. From Zyph Crypto. He says, Monica Long drops the truth. Ripple isn't just a company. It's the connective tissue between banks and blockchain. This is bigger than payments. This is the future. This is a minute long. Check this out.
It's not realistic that the existing systems like banks are going to plug directly into the blockchain. They do need some connective tissue. That's what we provide. So what does infrastructure mean? It's things like getting from real world currency, fiat currency into digital asset currency. Those are on-ramps. The inverse would be off-ramps. Secure custody. It's providing, stable coins and even, services for the institutions to be able to tokenize assets. So it's providing that layer of services that they need. In addition, the whole company started because 3 developers created the Xrp ledger, which we were talking about. And so we've always had a belief in, building use cases that would make use of the efficiency within Xrp ledger. So the set of services I'm talking about and the use cases that financial institutions would use would be, presumably on this ledger.
Monica Long, man, a plugged-in player. Ripple is full of plugged-in players, and they've taken people from Ripple and put them in government, and they've plucked people from government positions, like the likes of Monica Long and Rosie Rios, and they've added them to their team. Let's fucking go, man. I'm a believer in this ecosystem. And sure, in the short term, Flare might absolutely kill it, but I'm definitely not selling all my XRP for Flare. I have a lot of Flare, man. I have more Flare tokens than I do XRP, but I have more dollar amount of XRP than I do Flare. I believe on being on the rich list for both, man. Never sell 100% of your asset. Remember that mantra, I am positioned for success. Zach with Web3 Reviews. Until next time, stay well.